Welcome. In this video, we're going to do something a little different. As part of my YouTube channel, we are going to dive into taking a journey with Jackee. And this journey is my entree into selling on eBay and how that experience and what I have learned as a former marketing strategist in social media and shifting that business to eBay, and I'll give you a little background about that. But this is the first of a series that I will be giving to you. So consider this lesson number 1, and it all starts right here. Everybody talks about how important the mindset is, and typically when we begin something new, we just jump in there. And most people, particularly if the type person who would be thinking about starting an eBay store and creating a business for yourself, would probably be the type personality that just goes all in. And honestly, guys, that's what it takes. If you're going to do this as a hobby, then I would not go to the trouble and the time and the commitment of going through a course to learn, because you're really not that committed to it. So when I said the first step is up here, let's talk about what that means. Number 1, do you have the drive to make this happen? And what is your reason for thinking about getting into your own business, thinking like a business owner, not like an employee, because this is your business. So the drive, the dream. I don't know if you've been thinking all your life, when you were in elementary school, did you dream that you would own an eBay store? Well, chances are no, because eBay probably didn't exist then. So the dream is thinking big and thinking that you are able to do this, that you can do it if you put your mind to it. And again, we go back to, it's all up here. Thinking is doing. And having a dream of where you want to go and what you're willing to do to make that happen. And then finally, the third component is the idea. And what do I mean by the idea? Well, most people who are successful, wildly successful on eBay, have what's called a niche, or some people pronounce it niche. It just means who are you selling to and what is it you're selling. So the idea for starting your own business is something you need to give a lot of thought to. Don't just jump in there, start taking action without having a plan in place based on what your idea is. And when I first started, I have to confess, I really did have the drive, but my idea was not real refined, and I definitely did have the dream, but having 2 out of the 3 is probably not enough. You need all 3. You need a good plan and fulfill that idea, which ultimately will fulfill the dream. So I started taking action before I really had my plan in purse to refine my idea and make it happen. The mistake that a lot of people make is they start doing before they know for sure what they're doing. So I would encourage you to first sit down, plan out what you're going to do, and then I will take you in these upcoming lessons through step by step. So step number one is to get your brain in gear and think about what are the details of this business. Look at how committed you are. How committed can you be to move that drive forward? I have to say, I am probably, and my husband would totally agree with this, I am a very, very stubborn person, and I do not like to be defeated in anything I do. So I will stick with something and carry through with it to the last painful moment if it's something that I probably am doing wrong, or there's a better way to do it, or there's a more efficient way of doing it. So my life is all about, number one, learning how to do something and do it well. But it's also about more than that. And this is where I think you can make a difference in your own business. We all want to make a difference in this life, in this world. And part of what I discovered mine is delivering happiness. And you might think, what does eBay have to do with happiness? Well, let me share with you about my daily cup of happy. And by the way, I found this at a thrift store and went, oh my gosh, I've got to have that mug for my daily cup of happy. So what I discovered in selling on eBay is that it's all about giving. You may think I'm just selling an item and I'll never encounter these people again. It's just a business transaction. There's nothing personal about it at all. And my comment to you would be, I think you should rethink that. When I got a note from someone who said, thank you so much, Jackee. You don't know how much this little candle means to me. My mother gave it to me when I was a little girl, and somehow it got broken. And she died about 4 months ago, and you have just replaced this memory for me. And I now can look at that. It was a little Avon candle, and it meant the world to her. So I gave her some memories back, a cup of happiness, and it made me feel wonderful. So having that feeling of giving something to people that is going to enhance their life and make them feel better is the joy that selling on eBay gives to me. I just got another note from a lady that she said, the jacket is perfect. I love it, and it fits perfectly. So when someone takes the time to send you a very personal thank you and express their gratitude to you, it means the world. And that's a big part of the reason that I do this. Yes, running a business and making a profit is important, but I would not be happy doing it if it didn't fulfill me in some way. And that's what I hope you will get out of starting an eBay business. If your opinions are different than that, and you're going in it strictly from a business perspective and don't want to get a lot of joy out of it, maybe you can do it another way, but I couldn't, very frankly. I need to know that I'm giving some joy to someone and having a ball doing it myself. I absolutely love the thrill of the hunt, treasure hunting for things like this or other. I found, and I don't have them down here, but I found something last week when I was thrifting that really tugged at my heartstrings. A very good friend of Max's and mine died a couple of years ago, and he was our best friend. He and his wife and I would vacation together. We'd go to movies and dinner, and they were just a huge part of our life. He is or was a huge fan of Betty Boop. I mean, everything Betty Boop. He had a Betty Boop clock in his den. He had Betty Boop Christmas ornaments, plaques and watches and statues. Anything Betty Boop he was into. So I saw this little salt and pepper shaker that were Betty Boop's high heel pumps. And they were red with pink polka dots, and I immediately went, oh, Carlos would love this. And of course, I had to buy it because it was truly a sentimental, emotional decision on my part. I don't care what it was worth, I don't care if it's sold or not, and that probably is not a good business strategy, although I did do the research on it and I knew it was sellable, but the emotion of that situation definitely took the forefront. And I'm perfectly okay with that because there's a lot of emotion involved when you really care about what you're doing. So where to start? The starting point is first thinking it all through. How driven are you? Are you going to be able to do this and stick with it? Because commitment, consistency is probably the biggest factor in your success. Every single day, you will be doing something to grow your business and to sustain your business. So starting is getting it all together, and I would definitely put it on paper or put it on the computer and think about, how many hours a week can you do this? How much money will it take to get started? Those are all things we'll cover in this course. And I will share with you my personal experience of doing a lot of things the wrong way and learning what the right way is. And I definitely went to a lot of the experts and learned from them, observed their YouTube channels, observed their stores, and what practices they were taking and making and doing regularly. So don't try to do everything at once. That's number one. Take it in bite-sized chunks. So number one is start with putting together a to-do list or whatever you want to call it, a checklist. First, you need to set up an eBay site. If you haven't done that yet, that's step number one. Then step number two will be to define who your target audience is and what you're going to be selling to them. And it should be, no, I think it must be something not only that you know something about, but something that you really enjoy. So a lot of people are into electronics. A lot of people are into games. A lot of people are into children's toys or clothing or whatever it is. Mugs. I mean, there are people who specialize in mugs. So it can be pretty much anything in the world as long as you know that there is an audience for it and that it is sellable, that people are going to want it. So then I think after you do the not doing everything at once, making your checklist, setting up systems is next. And that is, who is your audience, a marketing checklist. How do you find those people? How do you attract them? What are the keywords they're searching for? Get to know your audience. Look at your competitors, those people who are selling something similar or the exact same thing that you are selling, and see how they're doing and see what they're doing. And then don't try to copy your competitors. Do something different. I have been telling the story of the purple cow for many, many, many years. The Purple Cow is a book written by one of the top marketing gurus in the world. His name is Seth Godin, and Seth has written lots of marketing books, but one of my favorite is Purple Cow. And it's all about driving down the road and you see fields and fields and fields and fields of black and white cows. And pretty much after a while, they all just become invisible. You don't even notice them until, lo and behold, you look over because something catches your eye and it's a purple cow. And you go, whoa, it's a purple cow. And you pull over and get out of the car and take your camera with you and you take a picture. And you send that picture to everybody you know and go, look at this purple cow. And it got noticed. Why? Because it stood out from all the rest of the black and white cows. It was different. It was unique. It was noticeable. And that's what you have to do in today's competitive world to get attention. You have to be a purple cow. You think you can do that? It's just finding yourself and who you are and what makes you unique. What is it about you that people like and that will attract people? So I'm sure you can find it, but you may need to think about it a little bit. So the next step, and remember we're covering the where to start. So don't try to do everything. Set up checklist. Know who your market is. Be different. And then cash flow and planning. How are you going to manage that? Spreadsheets, you need to track everything and budget and know exactly what's going out, what's coming in. And again, we'll be working through that step by step. And then finally, setting goals. I know that sounds boring, and nobody wants to set goals, but it really does make a difference and does something, again, in that head of yours that makes you accountable. If you say, the next 6 months, I'm going to do this, and you write it down, that is your goal, and you get it done. And that's how you hold yourself accountable. This is your business. You are in control. There isn't a boss who's going to come hold your feet to the fire. So you sink or swim on your own. It's your brand. There is no other you. What you're doing is using the platform of eBay to sell your brand. You are not eBay. You are whatever your brand is. My brand is Planet Einstein. So that is who I am. My business is Planet Einstein. So harvest those customers by treating them right, by giving more than you're getting, by giving them happiness. It will give you happiness. So this is the starting point. You are a business owner. You may have to shift your thinking a little bit, particularly if you've been an employee and this is your first time owning your own business. The mindset is very different. Failures don't mean you failed. Failures mean you learned something important. I can't tell you how much more I've learned from my failures than from my successes. So look at failure as, well, I learned another great lesson today. So start with an idea. Do you already have an idea? You probably have an inkling of an idea, or you may have to dig a little deeper and think about, what do I really enjoy? What do I know something or maybe a lot about? Who's willing to take that idea and grow it and stick with it and be consistent? And finally, who wants to own $1 million business? It is very doable. There are a lot of people making a lot of money on eBay. And then there are a lot of people going in the hole on eBay because they didn't take the time or the energy or didn't even know they needed to do that. So give yourself a leg up and start with learning first, planning, and then implementing and being committed to seeing it through and making it happen. So you'll want to follow me on this journey. I will give you the first package of it absolutely free, and all you have to do is show up once a week, and we will determine what that day will be. Is Monday a good day for you? Is another day better? Let me know and give me some feedback. It's really important to me to let me know what it is that would be most helpful for you. Tell me what you want to see, what you want to learn, what you want to do, because I have my ideas, but I'm sure you have yours as well. So we're going to end here today. I just wanted to let you know how important having your mind ready. Ready, set, then go. Okay, thanks for being with me. I really hope this is going to be helpful for you and that you're excited about it. If you want to talk to me or have any questions you'd like to ask me, you can send me a message below in the comments, or you can email me at Jackee, Jackee, at planeteinstein.com. See you in the next one. Bye for now.